right, everybody. Welcome back to MAPOP Sports. This is Grandy. This is your first time here. Welcome. Appreciate you guys checking out the channel, checking out this video. If you guys are returning, welcome back. I truly appreciate you guys more than I can honestly say thank you, man. Like I just said, I always tell everybody, this YouTube thing, I never figured I'd ever build it up to this point. So truly appreciate you guys coming back. Truly appreciate everybody checking out this new channel. So other than that, hopefully everybody's having a good Monday. I've just been grinding pretty hard today. I had a tremendous weekend. It was a really good weekend. I did my video, I think the other day or yesterday, hoping to get, sales, up. And, it was a good week last week. Wasn't great, but this weekend turned out to be a great weekend. I had a lot of sales over the weekend. I had a lot of sales actually last night and throughout actually this morning. So I've been shipping, man. I've been shipping hard today. Haven't got a chance to really list too much, but that will be the later part today. I kind of changed my schedule around because I was working more on shipping this morning, organizing some stuff. So hopefully I can get some more listings done today. So that's the game plan on that. This week I should be getting in another shipment from PSA, I hope. We'll see where they're at on that, and we'll take it from there, and then I can get some more listings on that. And then obviously this week, stay tuned. I'll let you guys know what moved and what was a good I guess you can say sales items for me this week. So I'll let you guys know on that later on this week and stuff. So today though, I definitely want to talk about is this industry, is this business sustainable? Is sports card gonna be here? Is this a fad? Is it a thing? Is it selling this full time? Am I going to be able to do this continuously? Like I just said, is this sustainable? What are my thoughts on that? And the reason why I wanted to talk about this because I was thinking last night. This is the crazy thing, in life, is that I was just kind of, especially when you run your own business, you start your own business, that there's so many things that go on in your mind. You're constantly thinking. You're constantly wondering how you can do things better. You're constantly thinking, is this gonna work? You're constantly trying to be positive, trying to come up with new creative ideas, whether to increase sales, to increase marketability, to increase, to get better, to make it sustainable. So, and that's why I wanted to talk about this a little bit. I know it's a little bit more of a business aspect, but like I just said, I was really just kind of brainstorming / just pondering last night, and just figured I'd talk about this. So, first things first, this is just my thoughts. This is just what I think. Am I right? Am I wrong? I have no clue. But this is just what I kind of, an epiphany, I guess you can say, that I came up with. Do I think sports cards will be around? Do I think this industry is sustainable? Do I think selling sports cards for a living is something that I'm able to, continuously be able to do to help support, as you can see, my crazy, rugrats, my family, my kids? Number one, I do believe the industry is sustainable. And why do I say that? Go back to since the beginning of sports cards, there's always a store. There's always going to be a local store, whether, how big, how small, wherever the location may be. It's always been an industry, collectibles, that people has always been a part of. So I don't think the industry in itself is going to go anywhere anytime soon. I think sports cards and collectibles in itself, sports memorabilia, is always going to be something that people will always want. And the reason being is because we always love competition since the day of time, since the day of gladiators. Back in the days, we've always loved competition. We've always loved sports and sports cards since the beginning of sports, the invention of sports memorabilia and sports cards. It's never going to go away. It's always going to be a collector's item. If you really think about it, even like I said, back in the days of the ages of the gladiators, people love, whether it was weaponry or pieces of memorabilia. People love to collect it. The rich people, they love to collect that stuff. Now, even, till this day, we love to collect sports cards, sports memorabilia. Whether it's me or anybody else, there's always going to be that niche. There's always going to be people who love to collect sports memorabilia and sports cards. So that will never go away. Am I right? Am I wrong on that? I mean, shit, since the day of time, we still collect, right? Everybody still collects. It's still a hobby. It's still a business industry. Now, selling sports cards for a living, is it sustainable? Is being in this hobby sustainable? In my opinion, yes. It's just like any other business, though. So, take this for what it is. It's just like any other business. If there's a demand, there's got to be a supply for it, right? And if you can produce that supply for the demand, you can be successful. Now, you have to watch how you spend your revenue once you create that supply, okay? Now, that's the biggest thing of how businesses go out of business. Number one, whether they overspend, they have too much overhead, whether they don't provide the service or the supply that people are wanting to, purchase or demand on that, okay? So that's the biggest thing. You have to be able to do that. And then number two, I think you have to be able to adapt. And when I say that, storefronts are still around. Will they still be around in 10, 15 years? I don't know. However, in the past 10, 15 years, what has been the biggest thing has been the online form of stores. Like myself, I have an online store of the business. So the ability to adapt. So the reason why some of these storefronts that I see currently can still be successful is because not only do they have a brick and mortar store, but they're also incorporating the online version, whether they're doing online auctions, whether they're doing online on eBay storefronts, McCarty, whether they're doing it on Whatnot, whether they're doing it on CompC. All these businesses are adjusting. You have to be able to adjust. That's the biggest thing about businesses to be able to be successful in my eyes, is the ability to adjust instead of staying stagnant. And that's why I said last night I was just trying to come up with new ideas of how to get my name of the business of MAPOP Sports out, of my eBay store out, of all that stuff. So I've just the ability to adapt, the ability to be creative and come up with new ideas, come up with new formats of how to sell, things like that. So if you're able to do that and continuously develop and continuously adapt to the times, you should be able to be successful. You should be able to be hopefully sustainable. That's the biggest thing I feel like that I think sports card selling, you can be sustainable if you can adapt and adjust. Now, the thing is, you also have to be able to plan ahead and also understand that you're going to make mistakes. That's the biggest thing too, is that you have to understand that you have to be able to absorb those mistakes. I think that's the biggest thing to be successful, is that understanding that of all ideas, of all things that you do and sell of your business, you have to understand there's going to be ideas that don't make it, that aren't successful, or if you purchase something or investment in specific items or even cards, let's just say, don't produce a profit. You have to understand that, but you have to create a business where that is sustainable, that you can absorb that. That's the one thing that I think a lot of people don't understand. And then you see a lot of people who, whether they were selling sports cards or trying to do it, I think so, that they were trying to sell certain things. They didn't plan that in case a certain item wasn't profitable or it were to go down in value or whatever the case may be, they didn't create an outlet to where they can absorb that loss. So I created this business and starting this business, hopefully having in mind that I will have losses, but I'm hoping, as I mentioned in previous videos, that I'll have more wins, more profit wins than losses to overcome that. So that's the biggest thing. I think people can be more successful in selling sports cards full-time or in the living. At least hopefully I can be, if I can produce more wins than losses, knowingly I'm going to have those losses. And I think a lot of people who had losses previously, especially from the pandemic, and they couldn't absorb those losses, and that's why you no longer, whether you don't see them on YouTube or selling sports cards or anything no more, because I think they were just in it just thinking that it's going to make money, and not understanding that you also have to understand there's going to be some losses you got to compensate for, and maybe they didn't compensate for that or plan for that, and that could have hurt their business. Who knows, right? But those are the key aspects I think to be sustainable, though, is in my opinion, is that number one, penny pinch, watch your dollars and cents. That's the biggest thing I feel like, some people don't do. I'm still working on that. However, under the ability to try and scale up, I also got to spend. I understand that too. And then, another thing is you got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to adjust and adapt to the growing market, whether it's online, whether it's the new version of live auction, kind of in a way came back, because that was a thing when television was first, I guess you can say, when they first had those, QVC stuff, shopping networks, all that stuff, is kind of coming back. But now it's with the phone and all that good stuff. So you got to be able to adapt that sense. You got to be able to come up with creative new ideas of how to sell, how to market yourself. And I'm still working on that. I'm not a professional. I wouldn't say I'm a professional. I wouldn't say I'm a perfect person to follow. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure that out. And like I just said, I was thinking about this stuff. Hopefully I can, come up with new and creative ideas, how to market, how to expand the business and grow it, and how to sell more sports cards. That's the whole idea of it, right? And then I guess you can say the last thing I would say to try and keep selling sports card full-time sustainable is that to understand you're going to have losses, and you're going to have inventory that are probably not going to be profitable, but can you overcome that? Plan ahead. So at least I did. At least I'm trying to, is plan ahead that to absorb those losses, understanding that hopefully this side will overcome and compensate that. You can have more profitable wins than losses. So that I was just, like I said, I was just kind of thinking about that last night, and just kind of came to me, and I just figured I talk about that because a lot of people are just wondering, is this industry going anywhere? I don't think the industry is going anywhere. I think it's fine. I think it's always going to be around, especially us as humans love competition and love sports memorabilia, sports cards. I think that'll always be around. However, selling it for full time and doing it for a living, I think there's many aspects to try to keep it sustainable and to keep the business afloat. So there you guys go. Take it for what it is. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. If you did, and if you like this stuff, feel free to subscribe. If you have not subscribed, all good, man. I also, everybody, I appreciate you guys checking out the channel. Also hit the like button. I think that helps the algorithm too, guys. So do hit the like button if you like this stuff. Do not forget, it does help me. Check out the eBay store. I put the link in the description. I try to list new cards on a daily basis. Feel free to make an offer on anything. Other than that, man, let's go. Let's have a good rest of the week. I appreciate you guys. Till next time, have a good one, guys.